No business can really be about money. Money is important, don't get me wrong. But if you look after the top line or the why, if you get everyone to really focus on that why, the bottom line will come. Hi, I'm Chris Reynolds. And for my entire career, it's been my mission to help independent financial advisors build a better business through a remarkable client experience. In this podcast, you're going to hear from the visionaries, from the leaders, from the independent advisors who are reshaping the future of the financial advice industry. At the end of each episode, I'm going to leave you with at least one winnable idea that you can start implementing right away. Let's turn the page on building a better business. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the last episode. And today, I'm really excited. We're going to start with something so fundamental to your business, to any business, really. It's your why. What really surprises me about people who are truly successful, and you can use a lot of different definitions of success if you want, monetary or otherwise, is everyone that I find that are successful tend always to have a purpose or a why. And what I found is even in the most extreme of situations, it's the why that keeps you going. There's a great book by Viktor Frankl, if you haven't read it, called Man's Search for Meaning. And it's a brutal book. It's about survivors of Nazi concentration camps. And what Viktor Frankl did was he found that there was only one thing that all the survivors had in common. Every one of them had a purpose. It was usually family, or a loved one that depended on them, or they had to get back to, or a dream that they had to follow. But anyone without a purpose usually gave up. They just couldn't go on. Whereas those who had a purpose, no matter how harsh the conditions might have been, they kept moving, they kept going. And this is why it is so important that within your own business and even within your own life, that you clarify and articulate your why. And that's how you can get others to join your why. Another great example of getting people to join your why is Steve Jobs of Apple fame. He was really well known for getting world-class talents to do extraordinary things by sharing his vision or his why. He would push and push and push his vision, his why. Why are we in it? And if you've read his biography, which, by the way, my own computer sits on his biography, you'll see countless of examples of him pushing people to extremes to make his vision come true. He knew exactly what he wanted, and even in times where it seemed impossible, he would push people and they would buy into his whys. Because one of the things, and this also comes from Steve Jobs, is he said, most entrepreneurs are crazy. And you have to be crazy because tough times are going to come. You're going to see tough times, you're going to have obstacles, there's going to be competition, not all of it's going to be fair. And it's your why that's going to take you through it. Right. This is, if you read the book, this is why the Think Different campaign came out for Apple, because he said, who is going to change the world? It's people who think different. So how do you come up with your why? Well, Sun Tzu said, know thyself and know thy enemy. Entrepreneurs should know their talents. And what they're good at is knowing their own talents and spotting problems, spotting opportunities in the marketplace. What can you do to help people? Things that you are best at. You know, the why starts with yourself and then business and then the clients that you serve. So I'll tell a personal story, my own personal why. And my own personal why is not actually about money. Although, as I said, I am in the money business. My own personal why is about freedom. Freedom is the one thing that I've always aspired to. And freedom from in all different definitions and forms. In other words, to do what I want, how I want, with the people that I want. But my real passion in life is travel. I travel all over, and I try to make it my mission to go to different places, learn different cultures. Also love food, love wine. All of these things drive through travel. And I couldn't have what I call a normal job. I had to have a business that fed into my personal why, which is, what kind of business can I have that will provide me freedom? And so that was my personal why. And then when I founded IPC, I asked myself, who did I really want to work with? Who do I really love? And what is the problem that they need? Well, I love entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are great characters. They are on a mission as I am. And so I made it my mission to help advisors build a better business, help entrepreneurial advisors build a better business. And really, I was attracted to, and I continue to be attracted to, those types of entrepreneurial advisors who love to create a remarkable client experience. And everything we've done since then, everything I've done since then, focuses on how can we help advisors build a better business, whether it's portfolio management, whether it's technology, whether it's our total client experience. And now we're helping with succession planning and creating equity within their business. And this all revolved around my personal why. And whenever I meet a potential hire or someone who's going to join the team, you'll notice that I spend most of my time talking about our why and how they would fit into that why, how they would help me and help the company achieve its mission. And this is also very easy for advisors to understand and buy into, as well as I know who we can help and who we can't. And so therefore, it makes it a lot easier to filter through the people that want to join the company and the people who probably wouldn't want to, because we share that philosophy, we share that why. So here's my rant. My rant is no business can really be about money. Money is important, don't get me wrong. But if you look after the top line or the why, if you get everyone to really focus on that why, the bottom line will come. So one question I get a lot is, can your why change over time? And I'd say yes, it can change over time. It depends on maybe your passions change, maybe the consumer that you like working with, that might change. Of course, market opportunities come and go, so that may change as well. But generally, you see a mission last over a long time. In other words, the general themes tend to be long term. You know, I'm always going to love travel. I don't know if there's going to be a time where I don't want freedom or I don't want to travel, or I'm not going to want to work with entrepreneurial advisors. Who those entrepreneurial advisors might change. Also, as I said, the marketplace changes quite rapidly, and you have to keep up with that marketplace to be competitive. But the general mission should usually be pretty consistent. And so just focus on your why and making your why great. And I'm sure that we will get to where we need to go. So if there's an implementable idea from this episode, is to define your why. So I have some homework for everyone. So everyone get a pen. And these are the things, by the way, that I took out of Strategic Coach. We spent a lot of time developing the why. And so here are the steps to defining your why. The first thing to define is, what do you love doing? In what I said earlier was what I love doing. Well, in my particular case, I love talking, as you probably can see. Right? I love talking. I love talking with people. I love helping people. I love seeing them succeed. So that was always been my passion. So step number one, define what you love doing, what you would do even if you weren't getting paid. Secondly, what are your natural talents? And as I said, I don't really have a lot of natural talents, but I think the natural talent that I do possess is I can talk. So I have to have a business where I can talk a lot. So what in your particular case are your natural talents? But three, the big question is, what drives your economic engine? Because if it doesn't pay, if you're not creating value for someone else that they will pay you for, then really all you have is a hobby. So really what you have to define is what really defines your economic engine. Number four, what problems can you uniquely solve? In other words, if they don't have a problem that you can solve, that's not much of a business. You need if you're going to go into business, you need problems that you can uniquely solve and hopefully solve better than anybody else. And number five, define who you like working with. And if you don't like working with your clients, it's going to be a bad run, right? You have to like, and I like entrepreneurial financial advisors. That's why I chose this business. We have a lot in common. I was one, they were one. So we get along, we talk the same language. And it's really important that when you're defining your why, that you always work with people you like. Because if you don't, as I said, it makes it a pretty tough life. So now that you have the 5 steps to finding your why, a lot of this information I got from Simon Sinek, who wrote Start with Why and Find Your Why. Both are excellent reference guides to really what we've been talking about all this time is how do you find your why, how do you define it, and who's it for? So if you're an entrepreneurial financial advisor and you want to have a virtual coffee with me and talk about your why, I would be more than happy to help. After all, that is my personal why. So go out there and define your why. So if you've liked what you've heard today, do us a favor and hit subscribe. That way you'll find another episode and another actionable takeaway on how to keep building a better business.